Welcome to our channel, where we uncover the hidden value inside everyday coins. Roosevelt dimes may look simple, but a few of them have become some of the most impressive and sought-after pieces in U.S. history. So stick around, because you might be surprised by what these small coins are truly worth. Imagine picking up a coin from your pocket and realizing it could be worth more than a new car. That's exactly what can happen with rare coins. Today, we're starting our coin journey with a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1976 D. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it looks just like any other dime, but in the world of coin collectors, this particular coin is extraordinary. The Roosevelt dime has been a part of American coinage since 1946. It was introduced shortly after President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away, honoring his leadership during difficult times and his connection to the March of Dimes. The front of the coin features Roosevelt's profile, while the back shows a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. By 1976, the dime had been in circulation for 30 years, and millions were minted that year at the Denver Mint. Despite the high numbers, most coins from this year show signs of wear. They were used in everyday transactions, passing through countless hands. That makes it difficult for a coin from this era to survive in pristine condition. What sets this 1976 D dime apart is not a design change or a minting error. Its value comes from its condition. Professional grading services have examined this coin and found it to be nearly flawless. The details are sharp, the surface is clean, and it shows no signs of wear or damage. One important feature is the full bands designation on the torch. These horizontal lines on the torch are fully separated and well-defined. Many coins from this year have soft or weak bands because of the way they were struck or because of circulation wear. The full bands designation indicates a strong strike and adds to the coin's value. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC use a scale from 1 to 70 to evaluate coins. A 70 represents a perfect coin with no visible imperfections, while coins graded in the high 60s are considered exceptionally rare and well-preserved. This 1976 D dime achieved one of the highest grades ever seen for this year and mint, making it the finest known example. The combination of a high grade and full bands designation is extremely rare for a coin minted in such large numbers. Millions of 1976 D dimes were produced, yet very few survived in this condition. Most were handled, spent, or lost over time. That is what collectors call a condition rarity. It's a coin that is valuable not because it is unusual, but because it survived perfectly. Collectors value coins based on three factors: rarity, condition, and demand. Scarcity in this case doesn't mean the coin was made in small numbers. It means that nearly all other examples have been damaged or worn over time. Condition is crucial, especially for coins that were heavily used in everyday transactions. Demand comes from collectors who want the best examples for their collections. When a coin meets all three criteria, it becomes highly sought after. Over the years, this 1976 D dime has appeared at auctions and in private sales. Each time, it attracts attention from collectors and dealers. Its high grade and full bands designation make it an example that is nearly impossible to replace. Serious collectors recognize its rarity and are willing to pay a premium to add it to their collections. Even though this dime has no special design or silver content, it stands out because it survived in such remarkable condition. Many coins from 1976 were showing signs of wear within just a few years of being minted. That makes this coin's survival and preservation even more impressive. It's worth noting that most 1976 D dimes are only worth face value, or slightly more if in uncirculated condition. But coins like this one show that condition can dramatically affect value. Collectors often refer to coins like this as the finest known, meaning that out of all the coins minted that year, this is the best preserved. The auction history of this coin shows just how much collectors value it. When it went up for sale, bidders recognized its rarity and its condition. Even without an error or unusual design, its near-perfect preservation made it one of the most desirable Roosevelt dimes in existence. Minting coins in the 1970s was a precise process, but even minor variations or wear during striking could reduce a coin's quality. That makes coins that are nearly flawless even more remarkable. Every aspect, from the sharpness of the design to the brightness of the surface, contributes to a coin's grade. Some collectors also look at provenance, the history of who owned the coin and how it was stored. This can add to a coin's story and increase confidence in its authenticity. For this 1976 D dime, careful storage and handling over decades allowed it to reach a grade that most coins from the year never achieve. Even with millions of coins minted, only a tiny fraction survives in this condition today. That makes this coin a true example of what collectors consider the pinnacle for Roosevelt dimes of this era. And now, after decades of circulation and careful preservation, this tiny coin has reached an incredible value. A coin that most people would pass by in a cash drawer is worth $83,000 today. This story is a reminder that value isn't always obvious. Coins don't have to be made of precious metals or have low mintages to be valuable. Sometimes, the key is survival and condition. A coin that looks ordinary can hold immense value if it has been preserved perfectly. Next time you look through your coins, take a closer look. Even a dime, small and seemingly ordinary, could carry history, tell a story, and in rare cases, be worth far more than anyone expects. Next up, we're taking a closer look at a coin that has become a modern collector favorite, the 1993 P1 dime error. What makes this coin remarkable is its unusual mistake on the reverse. The inscription, 1 dime, which normally appears clean and uniform, is misaligned. Some letters are doubled, slightly shifted, or uneven, creating a visual anomaly that sets it apart from every other dime produced that year. Errors like this don't happen by accident, they reveal the complex process of minting coins. Each coin is struck by dies, which are engraved with the design and then pressed onto a planchet under extreme pressure. If the die or planchet shifts even slightly, it can create doubling or misplacement of design elements. This 1993 P dime is a perfect example of such a striking anomaly. While errors happen occasionally, the rarity comes from survival and condition. Many coins with minor errors get circulated and damaged, making them less appealing to collectors. This 1993 P1 dime stands out because it has remained virtually untouched for decades. Its surfaces are smooth, the details remain crisp, and the error is fully visible without anywhere obscuring it. The clarity of the error is what collectors prize. In coins with misaligned lettering or doubled inscriptions, every detail counts. A sharp strike ensures that the anomaly can be studied and appreciated, which is exactly what we see with this coin. The 1 dime letters are not only misaligned but perfectly preserved, making it a textbook example for collectors. Error coins often carry stories that ordinary coins do not. This coin is a small but fascinating insight into how even minor variations in production can create something unique. Every doubling, shift, or irregularity shows the precision, and occasional imperfection, of the minting process. Condition is equally important. Even a coin with a rare error loses value if it is scratched, bent, or worn. This 1993 P dime, however, has survived with surfaces that are clean and bright, edges that are sharp, and all details fully intact. It's a coin that tells its story without compromise. Collectors also look at the context of the error. How many similar coins exist? What is the likelihood of finding another in comparable condition? In the case of this dime, only a very small number are known to exist in such pristine condition, making it highly desirable. Another aspect collectors consider is the visibility of the error. Subtle mistakes can go unnoticed and are less sought after. The misaligned letters on this dime are clear and unmistakable. It's not a coin that requires a magnifying glass to spot, the anomaly is evident to anyone who studies it carefully. Over time, this coin has drawn attention from specialists who focus on post-1980 errors. Modern error collecting has grown in popularity, and coins like this one are seen as a rare opportunity to own a piece that combines a minting mistake with perfect preservation. This 1993 P1 dime also illustrates the importance of timing in collecting. Many errors are overlooked at first, discovered years later when collectors start examining coins more closely. Because it was preserved immediately after striking, this coin remained in top condition and now stands out among its peers. Even minor coins can achieve significant value when errors are paired with exceptional condition. Collectors understand that the combination of rarity, clarity, and preservation is far more important than the coin's face value or metal content. This coin has become an important reference for modern-era collectors. It's used to compare other 1993 P dimes and to verify the presence of similar mistakes. Its condition and clarity set a standard for evaluating this type of minting error. The story of the 1993 P1 dime shows that coins can be much more than currency. They are historical artifacts that reveal production processes, attention to detail, and the passage of time. Every line, letter, and surface tells part of that story. Collectors often debate the role of rarity versus condition. A rare error in poor condition may attract some attention, but a well-preserved coin with a visible mistake is highly prized. This 1993 P dime meets both criteria, making it one of the most important coins of its type. It's also a coin that inspires careful study. Many collectors examine every 1993 P dime they encounter, hoping to spot similar anomalies. Finding a coin in this condition is extremely unlikely, which adds to its mystique and desirability. The coin also serves as a reminder that small errors can have a big impact. A minor shift in the die may seem insignificant at the mint, but decades later, that same shift can turn an everyday coin into a collector's gem. Collectors are drawn to the story behind the coin. It represents not just a mistake, but a moment frozen in time, a snapshot of the minting process, preserved perfectly for decades. This coin demonstrates the value of preservation. Coins that are handled carefully, stored properly, and never circulated are the ones most likely to stand out in the collector community. The 1993 P1 dime is a perfect example. And now, after years of careful preservation, the value of this coin becomes clear. The 1993 P1 dime error, in its exceptional condition and with the distinctive lettering mistake, is worth $63,000. It's a perfect example of how even modern coins, when preserved and unique, can achieve remarkable value. This dime reminds collectors to examine every detail because hidden treasures can appear in the most unexpected places. Now let's move on to a coin that has quietly captured the attention of collectors for its exceptional preservation, the 1999 Roosevelt dime. This coin is notable not for a design change or an obvious error, but for the extraordinary quality in which it survived. While millions of 1999 dimes were struck at the Denver Mint, very few remained in the kind of flawless condition that makes this example so desirable. Collectors refer to coins like this as high-grade survivors. Most dimes from this year show at least minor signs of circulation, from small scratches to slight wear on the high points of the design. This particular dime, however, has none of those imperfections, and every detail is crisp and well-defined. The reverse design, the torch flanked by the olive and oak branches, remains perfectly struck on this coin. Each line on the torch and every leaf on the branches can be seen clearly, a level of detail rarely preserved in dimes that were used in everyday transactions. Part of what makes this coin remarkable is its place in the production process. Early in the minting run, dies are fresh and strike with maximum clarity. Coins produced later can show softer details as the dies wear down. This 1999 dime comes from one of those early strikes, capturing the design at its sharpest. Professional graders evaluate coins on a 70-point scale, where 70 represents a flawless coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. This dime ranks extremely high on that scale, a rare achievement for a coin over 2 decades old and struck for circulation. Population reports, which track how many coins of a particular grade exist, show that only a small fraction of 1999 dimes reach this level of preservation. That scarcity makes the coin highly coveted among collectors, especially those who focus on modern issues. Collectors are drawn to coins like this not just for their rarity, but for the story they tell. Most 1999 D dimes entered circulation immediately, changing hands countless times. This coin survived, likely stored carefully and handled minimally, giving it a historical narrative as well as a numismatic one. Even small coins can carry remarkable appeal when they survive in extraordinary condition. It's not about the silver content or face value here, it's about the combination of rarity, preservation, and the opportunity to own the best example from a particular year and mint. The clarity of the lettering, the sharpness of the relief, and the flawless surfaces make this coin a benchmark. Collectors often use it to compare other examples, determining what qualifies as finest known for the 1999 D dime. Collectors also take note of the die characteristics on coins like this. Minor variations in the minting process can create subtle differences that specialists track and catalog. This dime represents one of the most perfectly struck examples, preserving the full artistry of the original design. Over time, coins like this gain additional significance. They serve as reference points and help collectors identify trends in preservation, striking quality, and survival rates for modern dimes. Each one is a snapshot of a moment in minting history. What makes this coin especially interesting is the contrast between its rarity and the millions of dimes struck in 1999. While most circulated and became everyday pocket change, this coin remained untouched, offering collectors a rare chance to own a truly pristine example. Collectors who focus on modern dimes understand the importance of condition. Even minor wear or contact marks can reduce value significantly. This 1999 D dime avoids all of that, making it a standout piece in any collection. The coin's appeal also lies in its accessibility relative to older rare coins. Modern coins may seem common at first, but when one survives in perfect condition, it becomes extremely desirable. It's a lesson in how preservation can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's gem. Every line, leaf, and letter on this coin reflects careful striking and fortunate survival. It's an example of what can happen when a coin escapes circulation and remains protected over the years. Collectors often remark on the subtle satisfaction of seeing a modern coin preserved at such a high level. It's a reminder that even coins produced for everyday use can achieve extraordinary value when condition and rarity align. And now, for the most impressive part, the worth of this coin. Considering its rarity, condition, and significance, this 1999 D Roosevelt dime commands a value of $42,000, making it a prized treasure for collectors who recognize its unique story. It's remarkable to think that such a small coin, which most people would never notice in their pocket, can hold such value and historical significance. This dime shows that in the world of coin collecting, condition and survival are sometimes just as important as age or metal content. Collectors treasure coins like this because they are not just currency, they are a tangible piece of history, preserved perfectly, telling a story decades in the making. This 1999 D dime is proof that even modern coins can become extraordinary when they survive the passage of time in perfect condition. Moving on to the 2002 D Roosevelt dime, we encounter a coin that has quietly become a standout among modern collectors. While millions of 2002 D dimes were minted at the Denver Mint, this particular example has survived in exceptional condition. Most coins from that year show signs of circulation, minor scratches, worn edges, or contact marks, but this one retains its full detail and brilliant surfaces. Collectors immediately notice the sharpness of the design. The torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse are fully defined, and even the smallest lines remain crisp. It's the kind of clarity that is extremely rare for a coin intended for daily use. The Denver Mint struck this coin using dies that were part of a high-volume production run. Most coins in circulation were handled, exchanged, and eventually showed wear. This coin, however, avoided that fate, preserving its details as they were originally struck. Experts often highlight the coin's surfaces, noting that they are virtually untouched. There are no abrasions, dents, or scratches, and the edges are crisp. This kind of preservation is what separates a collectible from an ordinary circulation coin. The timing of the strike also played a role. Early in a die's life, coins tend to have stronger impressions. This dime appears to come from one of those early strikes, capturing every detail of the design as it was meant to be. Collectors value this coin not just for its preservation but also for the story it tells. It survived decades, likely stored carefully, and avoided the wear most coins from 2002 experienced. That history adds context and appeal. Population reports show that only a small number of 2002 D dimes exist in this level of preservation. That scarcity makes it highly sought after by collectors, especially those who focus on modern coins in top condition. Even without a minting error or a design change, this dime demonstrates how preservation can transform an everyday coin into a highly prized collectible. It's a perfect example of how condition can elevate value. The coin also serves as a reference point for other collectors. High-grade examples like this one are used to compare and evaluate other 2002 D dimes, helping collectors identify the finest specimens in circulation. Collectors often note the significance of the coin's clarity. Every line and detail remains sharp, which is uncommon for coins that were intended for pocket change. This makes it a valuable teaching tool for collectors learning to identify top-grade examples. Over the years, this coin has grown in reputation among specialists. It demonstrates that even modern coins, when preserved exceptionally, can hold impressive value and demand attention from serious collectors. The appeal of this dime also lies in its accessibility. While older coins often require deep numismatic knowledge, high-grade modern dimes can be understood and appreciated by anyone who studies coin preservation, grading, and rarity. Collectors also appreciate the coin's story of survival. Most 2002 D dimes entered circulation immediately and changed hands countless times. This example survived decades unscathed, providing a snapshot of what the mint originally produced. Every aspect of this coin, from its strike quality to its untouched surfaces, reflects fortunate preservation. It's a coin that shows what can happen when a piece of currency escapes circulation and is protected over time. The coin's rarity, combined with its near-perfect condition, makes it highly desirable. Even in modern coin collecting, examples like this are considered highlights and often become the centerpiece of a collection. High-grade coins from modern years also help collectors understand minting standards and quality. This dime represents the pinnacle of what can exist for the 2002 D Roosevelt issue, making it an important reference piece. It is also interesting to compare this dime with other years. While some earlier or later years might be more common, the 2002 D in this exceptional grade stands out, showing how even modern minting runs can produce hidden gems. Collectors often talk about the satisfaction of owning a coin in its near-original state. There's something uniquely rewarding about having a coin that escaped circulation, showing the mint's work in pristine condition decades later. And now, to reveal its value in words, this 2002 D Roosevelt dime, preserved in exceptional condition and surviving in near-perfect form, is valued at $33,000. It's remarkable to consider that a coin so small, originally minted for everyday use, can hold such significant value. Preservation, sharpness, and rarity combine to make this dime a prized collectible. Collectors often use coins like this to remind themselves of the importance of careful handling. Even modern coins, when preserved correctly, can become treasures that surpass their original face value. This 2002 D dime demonstrates that age is not the only factor in a coin's worth. Quality, scarcity, and survival over time are just as important, showing that extraordinary coins can emerge even from recent mintage. It's a perfect example of how modern coins, when preserved exceptionally, can become highly desirable, telling a story of survival, rarity, and careful handling over the years. In the last part of today's lineup, we're taking a closer look at the 2016 P. Roosevelt dime, a modern coin that has gained attention for a variety of interesting reasons. The Philadelphia Mint produces hundreds of millions of dimes every year, and most of them enter circulation almost immediately. They collect small marks, lose their shine, and pick up tiny imperfections simply from being handled. But every so often, one of these coins manages to survive in a way that sets it apart. This particular 2016 P dime is one of those examples that seems to have avoided the usual bumps and scratches found on modern change. Its surfaces remain bright, its details are sharp, and the coin still shows much of the original luster that it had when it first left the mint. Collectors pay close attention to modern coins like this because high-grade survivors tell an interesting story. It's not easy for a coin produced for everyday use to remain in nearly perfect condition. It requires careful handling, limited exposure, and a little bit of luck. Another factor that makes the 2016 P dime interesting is the possibility of subtle minting variations. Even with modern technology, dies can wear down or shift slightly, and those small changes can create faint doubling, minor distortions, or unusually weak or strong strikes. Some 2016 P dimes have been found with small die deterioration marks, slight shifts in the lettering, or tiny differences in the outer rim. These features are tiny, but for collectors who enjoy studying details, they make the coin worth a second look. Modern coins are struck with a high level of consistency, which means that even the slightest deviation can stand out. A coin that shows a sharper strike, cleaner rims, or more defined lettering automatically attracts attention from collectors who know what to look for. The survival of this dime in such clean condition is also noteworthy. Most 2016 P coins saw heavy use, ended up in coin jars, or picked up marks from years of circulation. A piece that still looks nearly untouched becomes a standout example from the entire production run. Collectors who study newer coins always emphasize that condition matters just as much today as it did for older coins. A modern dime with flawless surfaces and original luster can become just as interesting as a classic coin when it's preserved this well. This coin also serves as a good reminder that valuable finds aren't limited to old or rare dates. Sometimes, a modern coin from a recent year can be significant simply because it survived in exceptional shape or carries a subtle minting characteristic that most others don't. The 2016 P dime also plays a role in teaching new collectors how to recognize quality. By comparing a high-grade example like this to a worn one, collectors can learn to identify the small details that separate a basic coin from something more noteworthy. Another reason this dime draws interest is that it represents the challenges of modern collecting. With billions of coins struck each decade, finding a modern circulation coin in near-perfect condition is much harder than people think. Most are used, stacked, or scratched before anyone takes notice. This coin shows what can happen when a dime escapes all that early handling. It becomes a snapshot of what the mint produced, preserved with all the details exactly as they were intended to appear. Collectors often appreciate pieces like this for their simplicity. There's no large error, no dramatic variation, just exceptional preservation. And sometimes, that alone is enough to make a coin stand out in a world where most modern coins are overlooked. The 2016 P dime continues to gain recognition among those who specialize in high-grade modern issues. As time passes, fewer pristine examples remain, making coins like this more interesting for anyone building a complete modern collection. Some collectors even consider modern high-grade coins a new frontier in the hobby, and pieces like the 2016 P help support that idea. They show that quality matters just as much today as it did in earlier decades. The coin also highlights how quickly modern coins can become uncommon in top condition. Time, circulation, and handling all work against them, which is why finding one with such clean surfaces is always worth noting. For newer collectors, this dime can serve as motivation to check their change more often. Even the coins we use every day might hold small surprises if they survive in exceptional shape. This particular example also shows how modern minting still produces small variations from coin to coin, giving collectors something to explore even without major errors. In the end, the 2016 P Roosevelt dime earns attention not for its age, but for its condition, its subtle differences, and its clean, sharp appearance. It's a coin that reminds collectors to look closely, even at the newer dates that most people ignore. It's the kind of coin that could be worthy because of its exceptional condition, the possibility of a rare minting feature, or simply the rarity of finding a modern dime that has survived the years without a single distracting flaw. And that wraps up our look at today's set of interesting and unusual dimes. Each one shows how much there is to discover, whether it's an unexpected rarity, a coin that survived in exceptional condition, or a piece with small details that make it stand out from the rest. Coins like these remind us that there's always something new to learn, even from the smallest pieces of change. So the next time you come across a dime, take a moment to look a little closer. You never know what you might find. Thank you for spending your time with us today and exploring these fascinating pieces. Your support means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you more content just like this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next breakdown of rare coins, valuable finds, and the stories behind them.